Regardless of what happened, it was for the best and God did this for the good of our health. In spite of that, we suffered a lot from that act at that particular time. It is important to hit the bell icon before we get into the story to find out more about our upcoming mind-blowing stories. It would be useful to use the name of my girlfriend, Mary, who is 26 years old and who was to be my wife in a few months, but I discovered that she was infidelity. I am a 29 years old man named Stein. My job was to work as a marketing officer for the cosmetic company, while Maria's job was to work as a flight attendant at an airport. Because of the nature of my job was so versatile, I had to travel a lot on my meetings and business tours to different countries for business deals. On the same day, I had to leave for France. I met Maria in an airport restaurant on airport. Due to the fact that my flight was delayed, I went to a restaurant for a cup of coffee. As soon as I saw her for the first time, I was convinced that there was something special about her that I could not ignore. There was a lot of friends sitting with her there at the same time. In those 10 minutes, I couldn't take my eyes off of her while I sat there, and for the most part, I couldn't move. I was filled with pleasure by her smile. Until now, I had never seen a smile as sweet as this one. After some time, her friend had gone and now she was sitting all by herself. As I walked up to her, she was in uniform and it was clear that she worked there, but I did not know in which department she worked. During our conversation, I noticed that she was in a very jovial mood. The process of making her my friend only took me a few minutes. When I told her about my job, she was very interested. As well as that, she informed me that she was a flight attendant. Due to the fact that I couldn't stop myself from giving good marks about her smile and beauty, I gave good comments about her. As a result, we became good friends from that day forward. Then we used to meet on weekends after that. There was no doubt in my mind that I was in love with her at the time, but I had no idea that it would become my obsession in the end. In addition to become so sweet, she was very patient with me. In contrast to other girls who are always bothering their companions all the time, I am not like that. There was a hidden talent in her that allowed her to paint and sketch at the same time. There is no doubt that she was a fantastic painter. As a matter of fact, I recommend her to do it on a professional level, as I was aware of her talent. As initially a joke, she cut it, but when my boss saw the painting, my boss likes the painting very much. It was much appreciated by him, and he requested that I purchase it for him. As soon as I told Maria, she was shocked and was so excited about this that she was as shocked as I was. During the beginning of her career as a painter, I was a great support to her. In the first instance, her paintings were shown in exhibitions, and after that she was able to make a good business from it. I thought it was time to reveal my heart to her after a while, since I was now aware of the level of our frankness. As friends, we both treat each other like kids. The weekends are a time for both of us to laugh, hang out, and have fun. I decided to reveal everything that I had in my heart to her one night, and I did so with all my heart. As a result, she also accepted this fact that she was starting to like me. It wasn't long before we started dating. She has left her job at the airport and has started her career as a painter in the industry. There was no doubt that both of us had good careers and that we were making good progress day by day. During one of my visits to her apartment, I found her sitting on the couch with a guy on her lap. I was introduced to that guy by her first of all. According to her, they did not seem shocked at all, and she requested to talk to me later on. She had to discuss something with a friend of hers about something. Then I agreed to wait for a while in another room for a while. Undoubtedly, it was strange at first, but I had a lot to trust in her, so I did not think anything negative about it, but my heart was also telling me to be careful. It was after he left that I knew that he was leaving. When she came to me, I asked her who he was and why I did not know about him as your friend and why he was holding your hand. She told me it was due to the fact that he was her friend. I was told that he was her airport friend and that he had been feeling unwell as a result of this boyfriend leaving him for another man. But the fact is that he was gay and he came over to see me because he had moved into the next house over. My heart goes out to him as well. My heart did not give this issue much attention at that time, so I did not pay much attention to it after that. There was no doubt in my mind that she was telling the truth, and I had blind trust in her. Everything she revealed to me seemed to be true to me. I remember one time when I was scrolling through Instagram, so I saw a picture of Maria with her gay friend in a new photo that they took last week when they hanged out. There was, however, something extraordinary about it. The two of them seemed to be sitting very close together and looking very close to each other, despite the fact that it was a red flag for me. It was also the fact that he was gay, so I could not say anything to her about it. Due to this, I chose not to talk to her about it, in order to avoid the unnecessary conflict. During the year 2020, we will have reached the end of our 3-year dating period, and then we will decide to get married. As we prepared for our marriage for many weeks, we were disappointed to discover that we could not get married due to the COVID-19 epidemic. As a result, we are just stuck in our own house. Despite this, we still keep in touch with each other virtually from time to time. During that time period, I felt as if her attitude changed day by day as the days went by. There is always an issue with her when it comes to simple things. As much as I tried to console her, the situation began to spiral out of control. Let us imagine for a moment that we were stuck in our representative houses, far away from one another, and I was feeling helpless because I could not rescue her from her situation. Her behavior was also attributed to the fact that she was feeling depressed because the way she was just staying at home all the time, which is why she was behaving in this way. Anyhow, I was able to get an appointment with a psychiatrist, and she took part in a therapy session. Her experience was helpful, and she was able to learn a lot from it. It was only a matter of time before she started doing well again. While we were in lockdown, we were safe, but when the lockdown was ended, I got COVID and isolated. Maybe I was a little careless on my part. As a result, our marriage was once again postponed. As a result of the world being open, everyone was now able to get out and meet each other. Maria once came over to meet me with the same friend, but because of SOPs, I was unable to meet her because she was over at her friend's house. After recovering from the virus about 3 weeks later, we decided that it was too late for us to get married since it was already too late. Again, in accordance with her wishes, we prepared early for the marriages as we are familiar with what girls demand from their partners. During a meeting with my boss, he told me that one of his friends was interested in seeing Maria's collection and would like to purchase something from it. In the course of his visit, he became engrossed in all those paintings. He exchanged for those paintings, he offered a huge amount of money to her. Our belief was that this would be the opportunity of a lifetime for her, and she agreed to it. But he took some time before he agreed to pay it. He promised to pay after a month. One thing that I noticed was that her gay friend spent more time with her over the last few months. As a matter of fact, she always talked about him. The two of them may have become neighbors now, so they would meet on a daily basis since they were neighbors. The two of them went shopping together every time they went out. There was no doubt about it. There was such a strong bond between them. Honestly, I was unaware of the coming storm, or maybe God was helping me to have a better understanding of what was really happening. As part of the preparation for the marriage, it was planned to be held on the 7th of November 2022. On the night before my wedding, I went to meet her at around 1 a.m. One night before the wedding, There was no response when I knocked on the door. It occurred to me that she might not be at home, so I called her, but her cell phone rang in the house, so I thought maybe she wasn't at home. Even after I called again, the phone continued to ring. I then waited for a while, but suddenly I heard a loud noise coming from inside the house. Suddenly, my heart started pounding very fast, and the first thought that came to my mind was, is she okay or not? My mind begins to be filled with negative thoughts as soon as I heard the sound. The reason for this is that she had never let her phone go anywhere before, so I suddenly went to the side of the backyard, jumped from the wall and went to the back door where I could see the window of the room from the back, and then I ran toward the window. When I went near the window, there was a light on. It was on the corner of the window, and from there I could see what was going on inside the room, and I saw a scene that left me shook to my core. It was hard for me to believe what I was watching as I watched it. As I looked to the left of the sofa, I noticed Maria and her friend were fucking on it. Suddenly, I found myself unable to open my mouth. There was a sudden pain in my head that started out of nowhere. My heart is pounding so hard in my chest that it feels like it is spilling out of me. In spite of the fact that I could have gotten emotional from the situation, I made a sudden decision to record everything and then confront her. I just wanted to see the look on her face when she is confronted. Suddenly, I started recording everything that happened, and after a while, I was gone. On the morning of the day of our wedding, I called her to let her know that I would be absent, and I informed that we had decided to cancel the wedding because of the personal reasons. After I told her what I was going to do, she was shocked and asked me what I was doing. The reason I couldn't marry you was because I had seen some issues that I had to deal with. In fact, I told her to come to my house tomorrow so that I could tell you something about why I did this, which would be helpful to you when you're thinking about why I did it. There was a lot of her friends and relatives invited to the wedding, but because of the cancellation of the wedding, I apologized to them and invited them at home the next day. The girl had no idea how I was going to handle her, so she did not know what to do. Everyone came to my house and I told them that I am going to show them a video which would reveal the truth that why I had cancelled the wedding. The video was played and everyone was astonished when they saw it for the first time. My next statement was that everyone should be aware of the fact that, according to Maria, the man in the video is gay. Could you please let me know what you think, Maria? As I watched her face, I saw sweat dripping from it. It wasn't until then that she came to me and started telling me everything to me. I told her that it was too late now and that it was useless to try again. When she begged me to give her a chance, I said no. I was not willing to do that if I must give you a chance, and I would never do that if I had to cancel the wedding or if I had to show this video to anyone, but I made my mind the moment I saw you having this shit with him. As a result, her relatives began asking her what it was, and that was so disgusting to her. She felt very ashamed of herself, and I told her that she had to leave my house immediately. While she was crying badly, she left the house. It is true that I have a guilt about it, but I did not feel any remorse for it. As a result of her actions, she was just facing the consequences of what she had done. Additionally, I also advised my boss to cancel the deal that his friend who was planning to buy her paintings was going to make with her. I also leaked that video on social media, and now her career has also come to an end as a result of that. She had also lost lots of deals.